After making this video, I went up and looked up the definitions of truism, and I don't think this is actually a truism, because a truism is like, it is what it is. I mean, it's just stating the obvious. So I guess it's like an old saying or something like that. That's what I'm talking about. It's something that's supposed to state something, but it doesn't use facts to support its argument. Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, I don't know if you can tell from the title of this one. This is just going to be a rant, but it's things that happen. I hear a lot of these things being said in various different topics and everything, mostly in the knife community and prepping or survival community, but untrue truisms, you know. And I'm going to give a couple examples, and I'll tell you why I don't like them. A truism should mean that it's true, right? It's a saying that's true. It's got to be based on facts. And one of them is, a big knife can do anything a small knife can do, but a small knife can't do everything a big knife can. I'm going to use some adult language here. Bullshit. Why? Because a small blade like a toothpick can get into places a big knife cannot. It's just simple logic, right? Look at the size difference. They're trying to say that this thing can do everything. Everything. Not some things. Everything a small knife can do. Oh, it's obvious that this is not true. What are they just trying to tell you? If you've got a choice between a big and a small knife, a lot of times you're better off getting a bigger knife, not necessarily the extreme, but a bigger knife, and you'll be able to do more things. I mean, that's obvious. This can do a lot more things than that one can. But why, again, do we have to have a lie? This is a lie. This is a lie. This big knife right here can't get into a small knife channel and clean it out like a toothpick can. All right, I've found just one example of that. If that's true all the time, that's a lie. I do not like lies. I do not like propaganda. Repeat something over and over again. Get people to just knee-jerk reflect to it. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's not true. If you want to believe it's true, that's fine. Go ahead. You do you. Another one is this, one is none. Well, that is obviously not true. What are they trying to teach you? Well, to have a backup. Well, why don't you just say that? Why say one is none? Well, in a survival situation, if you're down to one knife, it's the same as having no knife. No, it isn't. You still have a knife in your hand. It's obvious this is not true. Why are we saying this all the time? Oh, because it teaches a good thing like have a backup. Tell people the truth. Just say it. Why do we have to give up mathematics? 1 equals 0? Good luck. You're going to need the ability to add and subtract and maybe even divide and multiply if you're in a survival situation. And if you look at, here, one is none. You find this knife lying around there. Well, no need for me to pick that up because it's not there. I don't see it. One is none. You know, maybe I'm being a little extreme with this, but I mean, I do not like the brainwashing of people, dumbing down people, teaching them stupid stuff, you know. People are smart enough to handle direct information. If you're telling people, hey, you know, if you've only got one method of starting fire that you know of, and that's a Bic lighter, and you don't know any other method, and you're down to one Bic lighter, in a survival situation, you better be looking for another, you better have a backup, right? What's wrong with saying it like that? You better have a backup. If you only know how to start fires using a Bic lighter or any other kind of flick your thumb and away it goes, it'd be in your best interest in a survival situation. Here's the best thing to have in a survival situation. a functioning brain, knowledge stored in that brain, and this is the best one, experience. You know how to make a fire more than one way. You don't have to know every method. I personally will not do bow drill fire making method unless it really is the only possible way of making a fire in that situation. And in that situation, I'm going to burn up more calories trying to make a fire than I'm probably consuming. I mean, calories are a lot when you are down to a, survival situation. But again, that's just things that every time I hear it, I go, man, why do they do this? Because you'll hear it on preparedness items you need. Remember, 1 is none, 2 is 1, and 3 is, why are we subtracting 1 from everything? They're trying to tell you have a backup. Well, just say that. Quit lying to people. Quit coming up with these truisms that are untrue. I don't care how people walk through life and perceive things. If you want to look at the color green and say that it's blue, and every time you see green you think blue, well, that's fine if that works for you. Some people are colorblind and they can't even see that. They don't have a choice. But if you willingly deny logic and deny reality and think you're smart, you're not. You're not smart. I'm sorry. You're pushing ignorance on people. I mean, maybe this is a palatable way that people can absorb knowledge. What's wrong with saying, if you've got a choice between a big knife and a little knife, a lot of times a big knife will do more things. Not everything. They say, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do is change this. A big knife can do more things than a small knife can do. Right? That's all you got to do. But when they say everything or anything, they're wrong. That's a wrong statement. And it's the same way with 1 is none. There was no way to fix that one. 1 is never none. I'm sorry. If you have 1 hot dog in your hand and you're going to eat it, do you have no hot dogs? It's obvious, right? It's obvious. Why did we do this? It's to teach people, I guess, that can't handle the concept of having a plan B or having a backup or having more than one of something that you find essential. What's wrong with saying that? Why do we have to lie to do it? Words are important. One of those things where, here's another one. Here, I'll throw in this one as a bonus. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never harm me. That's bullshit. Anybody that's ever been falsely accused of murder or executed because of it, if they could come back, would like to tell you, hey, words got me into this. Words got me convicted. Just like if somebody sits there and constantly tells you you're a piece of crap and you're worthless, words can never hurt you. They can hurt you if you let them. That's the difference. But words can't hurt you. Everybody knows this. It's the truth. It's not a truism. It's just something, it's a coping mechanism that we try to give people, like, look, if somebody calls you a piece of crap or belittles you because of your skin culture or whatever, just realize what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you angry. I mean, one of the books I read in my first divorce, I was really having a hard time not releasing my anger. I knew that anger in a divorce is not a good thing. You have to channel it. And I read a book called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. And it was basically about a guy whose whole life he was going to be an athlete. He was a runner. He was very good at everything he was going to do. And then he got into a motorcycle accident or something and messed up his leg. And he thought his life was over. And he met up with an old wise man. A lot of this is like analogy or parable or something. It's just a story that is told to give people an idea. But the wiser, older guy, it's just like in the Destroyer series where Chin was the wise, Korean master, and he got, an American in there and was teaching him how to be the perfect assassin and stuff. The wise guy was telling him, look, whenever somebody says something to anger you, it's up to you how you respond to that. A lot of times it's instinctual. Somebody is throwing trigger words at you, you get triggered. It's the whole tactic behind trolling is they want to elicit a negative response from you because they know when you get angry, this is scientific. People who don't like science, watch out, here it comes. When you get angry, your IQ goes lower. It just does. And people have known this for a while. They try to get people pissed off, so they'll throw that haymaker. They'll see it coming from a mile away, before he was ready to think about it and tactical and how he's going to do stuff. And then you said something about his mama. Wow! Here comes this haymaker that you knew was coming because you said the trigger word. You're prepared. You're ready for a crazy reaction. You didn't know it was going to be a haymaker, but you see, he's left himself wide open when he did that. He's expecting your head to stay right there. And, anyways, all I'm saying is, I like the truth. I like the truth in things. I mean, sometimes the truth is painful, sometimes, like going to doctors. I don't go to doctors because I don't want to know. Yeah, screening and all this other stuff might help and all. If I'm dying, I'll go to a doctor. Otherwise, no, sorry. I'm not getting all these recommended this and recommended that and do all this and that and everything because it really doesn't matter a lot of times. I see people that exercise and are crazy about exercising. Oh, you should jog every day. They get run over by a car. Irony, right? Well, if they wouldn't have been running around and everything, they might still be alive. You don't know. You don't know. It's just like, here's another side. I think I've got more than one life, like a cat. But a lot of times, you don't know how close you came to getting snuffed. You went through that intersection 2-3 seconds, maybe a minute. If you'd have been there a minute earlier or less, you wouldn't be with us right now because something bad happened there. But you don't know that you came that close. I've had bullets whiz by my head. I mean, I know how close coming to death can be, But same thing on a motorcycle. You can just be driving around on a motorcycle and somebody does something stupid and bam, in an instant, it's all how you react. But I don't mind people teaching good habits, like if you're gonna depend on something, have more than one of them or have a backup plan. I mean, that's always good. But to sit there and tell people lies, one is none. I'm sorry, every time I hear that, I'm like, it's just a knee-jerk reaction. A lot of people say it and they're not even thinking about it. They just say, oh yeah, I believe it and I'm just going to repeat it. That's the way a lot of this stuff happens. That's why we get a lot of sayings, old sayings, where we don't even, when pigs fly or something like that. We get a lot of stuff. We don't even know the origins of how it happened. We just keep repeating this stuff. And a lot of it it's no longer applicable, to modern society or whatever. But anyways, there you go. That's just a little rant I've had. I'll try to do something. I've just been, it's been weird here lately. That's all I got to say. Life has been weird. Life is going to continue weird. I'm just going to ignore that and continue on my way. Because the thing that gets me by in situations is don't stress over things you can't control. If you can't control over it, might as well be, what is the price of tea in China? Why do I care? I don't live in China, Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And have a nice day.